Hi everyone, my name is Noah, and I'm on a journey to open my heart. I'm on a journey to keep opening my heart further and further and further. I want to open my heart more deeply towards myself, towards nature, towards my lover, towards friends, towards family, and towards all of you, towards everyone. And in order for me to do that, I have to notice when it's closed. I have to be really, really honest with myself about when my heart is closed, when I have protection layers up, when I'm unconsciously closing. And sometimes it's not easy to notice when we're closed because it's so normal. So many of us have been closed our whole life. We're trained to be closed because of how our parents were, or just traumatic things that happened in our childhood. We just go right into protection mode. We become analytical, stay in our head, never even feel our heart. We can't let ourselves give love. We can't let ourselves receive love. And we end up living a very dull, disconnected, not rich and full life. And even though I've been on this journey for a long time, opening my heart, dealing with the pain from my childhood and all of this, it's still going. It's still going. It's still ever deepening and ever expanding. And the reason I'm making this video is this last week has been like a big hit, like a big confronting hit of the pain still left in my heart. A week ago, I realized that I was holding on to some pain in my relationship that I didn't know that I was, where even though my relationship is so beautiful, I love it so much, I love my partner so much, I unconsciously in some way was disconnecting because I wanted to punish her for times that she hurt me a few years ago. And I had no idea I was doing this. Like, there's a lot of love and connection in our relationship, so I didn't know. And when I realized it, it was really, really painful. It's super painful to realize that you want to punish the person you maybe love the most in this life. It's super painful to realize that you're like cutting them out in some way. And it really, really hurt. It really hurt to acknowledge this to myself, and to feel that I've been holding on to this so long, and because I want to just love, I want to be totally, I want her to feel joy, I want us to feel love together, I want to be like, I just want to be open-hearted, and so when I notice this, the question is, what do I need to do? What do I need to do in myself to open my heart? And this voice is like, no, don't. She doesn't deserve it for what she did to you. It's like, I want to keep the anger. And I'm like, well, why do you want to keep the anger? And I notice resistance to sharing it. Like, it's dangerous to share it, but I share it is that if I let go of the anger, I'm letting her off the hook. If I let go of the anger, I'm saying it's okay what she did to me. And and these beliefs are so killer. It makes us hold on to anger as if that's useful, as if that's serving. So it's literally, there's a part of me that believes holding on to anger and punishment makes it more even, makes it more fair, ensures it never happens again, doesn't let her off the hook, and is showing her it's not okay. And that's not in alignment with my truth, with my reality, even though there's a part of me, this like wounded child combined with my parents' belief systems, that thinks that's good, that that's the way to do it. And it's simply not. So in this last week, I went away for a few days by myself so I could really like deal with this. Like, I don't want this in me at all. So just piece by piece, talking to each of those protective layers, these pieces of protection that's like, no, I have to let her know it's not okay, and the only way is through anger. And it's like, no, I can say it's not okay with love for myself and with respect for the other. I don't need anger to do that. Or I need to hold on to the anger to make sure it's even and fair, so I keep punishing her, don't give her what she wants. Yeah, but if I hold on to the anger, it's making me have more pain. That's not nice. I don't want that. Yeah, or she doesn't deserve it. How does that feel in my heart if I'm holding on to punishment and anger, if I think she doesn't deserve it? It's so painful. I don't want to carry pain. It reminds me of a old saying I once heard. I think it's like a Buddhist saying, which is like holding on to anger to punish someone else is like drinking the poison and hoping that they suffer. And granted, when we're punishing the other person, we are hurting them, but it doesn't feel good to hurt someone. It doesn't feel good to close my heart to hurt the person that I love so deeply. So I want to live open-hearted, and the journey to live open-hearted is to be really, really, really honest with myself about when I'm not being open-hearted, when I'm being childish, when I'm coming from protection responses. And then my heart is just opening and opening further and further towards myself, towards my lover, towards my mom, because some of it was related to my mom and things that happened in my childhood. And I wanted to share that with you because maybe you may notice this as well in your relationship, where it's just like when we have these protection layers up, a relationship becomes a little more dull, a little more flat, less like, I love when I look in my partner's eyes and it's just like, yay, like it's so beautiful. There's so much love. We see each other. It's just like shiny and bright, or it's like super soft and connecting and so wonderful. And sometimes, and even though it's been like that the last years, sometimes it's not in certain environments where my protection or her protection blocks that from happening. And sometimes if it goes on for long enough, that I notice sometimes in my relationship and certainly with my clients, it becomes normal, like we just are comfortable with our partner as opposed to feeling deep love and open expansiveness with them. Because it's one thing to love them, like I always loved my partner, and it's another thing to feel love, experience love, express love, connect through love, right? Like our parents always love us, but in a moment they're yelling at us, abusing us, hurting us, disrespecting us. They're not treating us with love, and they're not feeling love. So what I want is not just to love the people I'm with on a deep level, like, oh, I love them, like the same you would a child or a husband or a wife. I want to feel that love. I want to receive love. I want to give love. I want to feel connection in every moment. So after that, then when I came home after a few days and connecting with my partner and sharing what's alive in me and what's alive in her, the next day I felt so much pain in my heart, like physical, like tremendous pain in my physical heart. And I think I never felt so much physical pain in my heart. Like sometimes when we have emotional suppression, it creates physical pains in different parts of my body, and I'm very, very adept and familiar with releasing physical pain that's energetic blockage. But in my heart, when it's the heart, it feels so vulnerable. It's like sharp and it's quite painful. So I went in there just like, the first thing I was doing was kind of tapping my heart to just like hit the spots that are painful and just kind of tap it and let out what comes. And just really, really early childhood pain was in there, feeling just alone, abandoned, all sorts of feelings. And it wasn't, even though I was letting out a lot of pain, it still was staying the same level of physical pain. Even though I was letting out a lot of emotion, expressing a lot of emotion, I was still feeling the same level of physical pain. And then it just came to me like, give it softness. Like, instead of tapping it, like, hold it. And as soon as I went to hold my heart with real gentleness, this voice in my heart is like, get off of me. Don't touch me. I don't want anything to do with you. And it's like, and it's really heartbreaking when you feel that part inside of you, which is like resisting gentleness, resisting love. Like, I don't want it. Get away from me. And it took me back to my early childhood where, and this is a really, really common experience with my clients, with myself. It's like, when we want love from our parents in a certain way, a certain soft love, kind love, touch, nurture, and we don't get it, we have fear, unsafety, hurt. And when we suppress those feelings, then when they try to love us, when they try to hug us, when they try to be kind to us, it's like, screw you. You didn't give it to me when I needed it. Why should I let it in now? That type of a feeling. And so I was just allowing this anger to come through of all the pain that I didn't get the love or the nurture that I wanted in the moments that I needed it and wanted it. And allowing that anger, then feeling the unsafety, then feeling the hurt, the pain, the sharpness, the physical pain in my heart started subsiding. And then I went outside and was talking to my staff here. I live in Bali, so many of the villas here have staff. It might sound weird. And I just felt so close to the guy who helps out with the villa. And it just felt so beautiful, so loving. And I didn't know that I felt I always felt really connected with him. I love the guy. He's wonderful. But I didn't know. Like, we don't know what we don't know. Like, we can think we're so loving and connected and whatever, but we don't know what's possible beyond it. So my journey is one of thinking I'm super loving, receiving, giving greatly, whatever, until something, I have a deeper level of sensitivity, so I can notice subtler pain. And then when I let go of that pain, I get like an upgrade, a further expansion in my capacity to give love, receive love, and feel closeness and connection with the people in my life. And yeah, and as I thought of making this video, it came to me a few days ago that I want to make a video about opening our heart and closing our heart. And as soon as I started thinking about making a video, the first thing that came up to me was, I just made like a jolt. I don't know. I just had to show it in the physical movement of my body. It like immediately came to me. And again, it feels vulnerable to share. I don't sometimes, so when this idea came to me that I wanted to express this to you, some emotions came up with it, but I didn't let myself feel it in that moment because I wanted to let myself feel it on camera so you could witness it. It felt more real to do it that way, like more revealing. So I'm just noticing some resistance to revealing myself. Give me one moment. Yeah, so what came to me is that I've been cutting you all out in some way, that at some point I closed my heart to my audience, to the people that watch my videos and engage with my work. And I feel really sorry for that. I at some point, when I first put out my work, just so many people were contacting me, and I didn't know what to do with it. I had no idea what to do, in the sense that I wasn't prepared for it. I really wasn't prepared for how many people it would help, and then how many people asked for help. So I was getting so many messages, emails, people wanting my help that didn't have money. People that would say, I'm going to kill myself and you're the only one who can save me. And I I shut down, because in the beginning I just helped everyone, and over time I realized that that's not good. It wasn't good for me. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was just like constantly helping other people, and I didn't know how to say no. It hurt me too much to say no to someone who needed help. So, and I couldn't say no and keep my heart open. So at some point, I just realized this now. At some point, I closed off. I shut down because I couldn't say no to someone who's asking for help. Like, someone's telling me their story about how much pain they feel, and I'm saying no. Like, I have the time, I could do it, I could make it work, and I'm saying no. Like, what kind of asshole, terrible person am I? I couldn't handle saying no while keeping an open heart. So I kind of went like this, and I kind of like made a rule, like, you know, that I only do it if they pay, or I only do it if I intuitively feel I can help, which was true. Like, I instead of thinking I have to help everyone, I started to get in touch with my intuition of like, can I actually help this person, as opposed to just because they believe that I'm the only one that can help or I can save them, it doesn't mean that I can. So just finding that access to my intuition and saying no. But I could only say no while like cutting off their experience, because it was too painful to say no while keeping an open heart. And so I didn't realize this was happening, but I started to see my audience and the people that watch my content, engage with my content, more and more as numbers, as the number of people who watch it, the number of people who comment, as opposed to real human beings that are engaging with this work. And of course, I did connect to it in that way sometimes too, but a part of my heart closed, and I don't like that. So in these last weeks, I've noticed that I'm opening more to you guys, to feel every comment, the painful ones and the beautiful ones, to show more of myself, that I want this to be like a human to human interaction, as opposed to like me sharing something and then I don't feel what happens on the other side. Like, I love to feel it, like I'm sharing something for you. You know, I want to know what's going on with the people that watch this and engage with this, and it feels like I'm sharing this in part that it's possible. I'm discovering, and I've discovered in many other facets of my life, but now I guess with this too, it's possible to say no with an open heart. That if you contact me for help and you don't have any money, and I feel intuitively that I can't help you, I can feel compassion for you and open to your experience while saying no, whereas before I couldn't. And sometimes I notice that myself and others, we hold on to anger or judgment, like, in order to help us say no, like, you're bad, or you did this to me, so to help me say no. And it's just not needed anymore. I want to just say no from love, from compassion, from understanding, instead of from closeness, from analyticalness, from pain, yeah, from protection. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you can resonate with that. I notice a little bit of insecurity about what I just shared, not sure if you can understand or relate, or if it was helpful. But yeah, but I'm here. Yeah. Hi. I'm just noticing myself feeling just softer and softer about human beings, about just like humanness generally. As my heart opens more and more, and there's less and less pain in my own body, it's really, the more deeply I can see other people, the more compassion there is, the more clarity there is. and the more openness and like revealing, like I can more easily share my experience with you all, without any need, like without any need to get something, like to prove myself, to show, oh, I'm so great in this way or that way, or to make sure you get some impact and are helped. It's more deeply just trusting that whatever comes to me, or whatever wants to be shared, will just impact the people that it needs to impact. So if you are on a journey to open your heart, to live from your heart, and you resonate with this, I'm really grateful that you're in my field, that we're connected, that me sharing is either serving you or you just enjoy it and like meeting someone who is resonant with you. And if you feel you need more support, you're always welcome to contact me for sessions. And what a beautiful journey it is, I just have to say. It comes to me, it is so freaking beautiful to open. It's so confronting, it's so painful to acknowledge the ways that our heart is closed, to acknowledge that we're not allowing ourselves to receive love or give love fully in our relationships with our partner, with our parents, with our children, with our colleagues, with our friends, with the staff, with our restaurant waiters, with whatever. But it's so worth being confronted. It's so worth being confronted. It's so worth being confronted. Like, it's okay. Look, I'm a teacher of this work, a guide of this work, and I'm revealing, like, sometimes my heart is closed. I'm always discovering deeper layers, deeper subtlety of protection inside of myself. It's okay for you to have a closed heart. It's okay for you to have protection responses. It's okay for you to have fear, unsafety, and pushing people away from giving you love, pushing people away because you don't want to give love, pushing people away because you don't want to be open and vulnerable. All of it is okay. It doesn't make us bad or good based on how hard our open is, how open our heart is. It's all okay. So the less personally we take it, the more easy it is to be honest with ourselves, to reveal the blockages in our heart that prevent us from living from our heart, living so softly, openly, kindly. And I have to say, in there, living vulnerably, openly, kindly, doesn't mean we can't say no and do what we want. We can just say no with solidness from our own boundary, with kindness, with respect. We don't need to hold on to anger and protection in order to do what we want, do what we need, and take care of ourselves. So, feels like that's all I have to say. It's been nice sitting with you, and I'll see you soon.